Anybody had a singing lesson before? Stop showing off. Your time will come. Okay, if you've never had a couple of people, if you've never had a singing lesson before, you're about to have a piece of one, and it is, I think, the most important piece of information you will ever need to know if you're ever going to sing, which you should because everyone can, or for that matter, exist. So here it is. You're going to have to participate. I need you to just sit up straight for a second, as straight as you can. It'd be best if we stood up for this, but I won't make you stand up. We're going to take 3 really deep breaths and let them out. Okay, but before you do that, here's how you're going to do that. Okay, when you breathe, normally when we breathe, we go, right? We get the heaving bosom, right? Because you're breathing into here. Your lungs are back here. So, and your diaphragm's here. So what you want to do in order to breathe deeply is to expand all of this. Like mentally think that you're expanding all of this, front and back, but all of this. Now, for those of us who are like me and are already round, that's not that hard, but for some of you who are slimmer, that might be a little bit of an issue. But that's what you're going to do. You're going to expand this when we breathe in, right? Mentally think about expanding this. When you breathe out, your diaphragm's here, push from here. Think you're pushing from here to push the air out. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready? We're going to breathe in. Breathe in. And out. Okay, do another one. Breathe in. And out. And one more, and really try and fill all of this, especially back here. Right? Think you're like Batman, right? Breathe in. And breathe out. I'm a little lightheaded now. I need a minute. Just a second. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But congratulations, everyone. You're alive. That's not just a useful tool for singing. You had 3 deep breaths. You're alive. Hang on, I'm just checking. Yep. Okay. You're alive. This is Thanksgiving 101. If you are taking a breath, you should be thankful that you are taking a breath. You are alive. It's a miracle, considering all the things going on in here and around you. It's a miracle that that just happened. Wait, it happened again. It happened again. See? Thanksgiving 101. When you get up in the morning, the very first thing you should do is tell yourself, thank goodness I just took a breath. If you don't, you'll know. But be thankful that you took a breath. It's a miracle. It truly is. And it's an amazing thing. You should be thankful for that. Now, okay, there are times when maybe we're not especially thankful for that because of other things. Things that are going on out here and things that are going on in here might cause us to wonder whether or not we should be thankful for that. But yes, you should. You should always be thankful for that. It's a miracle that you took a breath. Be thankful. And be thankful for the next one. And the next one. So, Thanksgiving 101, when you take a breath, be thankful that you're alive. Let's move on to some of those other factors, though. So here's some participatory stuff. I'd like you to just take a moment now to turn to the person to the left of you and the person to the right of you or in front and behind you, anyone around you, and say to them, look them straight in the eye and say to them, I am thankful that you're alive. I'm thankful that you're alive. I'm thankful that you're alive. Thankful that you're alive. Thankful that you're alive. No, I'm kidding. I'm thankful that you're... Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is actually a chance that one of the people you turned to looked straight in the eye and said, I'm thankful that they're alive. In the back of your head, you were thinking, no, not really. You laugh, and I hope you are laughing because that is not happening here. But sometime during your day or your week, or sometime, you're going to encounter someone who's going to make you think that. That you're not actually super thankful that they're alive. You're not wishing them ill. You're just not thankful. that they're alive. And so let me tell you this. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Your mind's playing tricks on you. Yes, you are. You are thankful that every human being is alive. I know you are. I know you are. Because Jesus is thankful that every human being is alive. And so are you. You are. Trust me. Because it's not just a question of Jesus wants us to feel that way. Jesus is in you. God is in you. You are thankful for creation. You are thankful that people are alive. Now, if your mind is telling you, not really, because they put eggplant in my soup. I'm just kidding. Because I am actually just kidding, right? Because you know as well as I do, that even experiences where we have that moment of thinking that you're not especially happy that that person's alive, you are learning something. The first thing that you're learning, of course, is stop. Yes, I am actually grateful that they're alive because I am thankful for all of creation, whatever it is. Secondly, I'm thankful that they're alive because they're teaching me something else too. And that could be anything. They could be teaching you patience. They could be teaching you understanding. They could be teaching you how to do something you don't really want to learn to do. They could be teaching you something valuable, like you should darn well try the eggplant. Even though afterwards you're going to discover that you hated it. It was important to try it. You've learned something. You should be thankful for that. There's always something we can learn. And we should be thankful for that. So yes, you are thankful. Not just for the people that are sitting around you, but for everyone that is alive. Everywhere. Because creation is alive. And see, that's the thing about being alive and about gratitude, is that you have to start with having gratitude or being thankful for being alive. You have to. You can't just be thankful for soup that doesn't have eggplant. You can't just go right to that. Because if you're only ever thankful for the things that you like, the things that seem to immediately have meaning for you, that's not life. Life is engaging new things and discovering new things. Life is confronting those things, those injustices and things that you consider to be wrong and challenging them, just like Jesus did. Did I mention Jesus was alive? Jesus is alive. Because Jesus is alive in you. Every time we engage, and maybe that's where we need to start. Be thankful for the engagement. Whatever it comes of it, whatever it is, we need to be thankful for it. I know what you're thinking. Actually, that's maybe something I shouldn't be thankful for, really, is to think that I know what you're thinking, because I obviously don't know what you're thinking. But what you might be thinking is there are things that we're very definitely not thankful for because they cause us to be broken or to suffer loss. And how could we possibly be thankful for that? When we struggle, how can we possibly be thankful for that? In those moments, it will be very hard to find something to be thankful for. But there is something to be thankful for. Life. I know, especially when those moments look like they're taking life from you, where they're causing you to be hurt. That is a struggle. But just hold on to that for a minute. We had a workshop the other evening with Bill Harder from Camrose. And there's an image I can't get out of my mind, actually, from that evening, which is him talking about the way he held his hands when he talked about holding sorrow. We do need to. Because in doing that, we're experiencing all of life. Life isn't just about those really great and wonderful things and that we're always thankful for, right? The turkey with just the right amount of stuffing in it. I'm sorry all of my images are food-based. That's just... But it's not just that. Life is all of those other things too. That's what makes it life. That's what makes us alive. We need to live into them. Not with worry and anxiety and hurt and brokenness that's debilitating, but with hope. But with the understanding that God is in all of these things. That when we live into the life that God gives us, the life that Jesus teaches us, there is thanksgiving in all things. That's what life is supposed to be. I think that's what Jesus is trying to tell people in this passage from Matthew. Although I will say I think it's a little unfair that the lectionary gives us verses 25 to 33. Because if you had verse 24, you wouldn't have just had to listen to me talk. Because verse 24, aren't you thankful for the humor today, too? Yeah. I just want to read it, rather than just trying to wing it. But no one can serve two masters, for a slave will either hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth. It's not about stuff. I know. You've heard that before. We hear it all the time. It's not about stuff. It's about the things that aren't stuff, right? It's about the companionship, the love, the people, the moments of blessing, right? All of the things that you know I don't have to tell you because you've heard it often enough. But the point of those things is there's something at the heart of those things, which is to live as God intended us to live in relationship with each other, to share with each other, to share those moments where we want to be happy and full of joy, as well as those moments where there's grief and sorrow and hurt. Together. There was thankfulness in that. Thanksgiving in that. And that's not just the thanks, that's not just about giving thanks. That's about living it out afterwards. Right? When we share that thankfulness with each other, when we experience that thankfulness and share it. So, this Thanksgiving, it's not just a day. Remember, it's not just a day. And I know it's not just 364 other days either. It's every moment. Every moment you take a breath, you're alive. Live into that. Live into that as God intended us to. To love and have compassion and grace. To share in those moments of grief and brokenness and sadness. To experience them, to have people share their stories with you. I guarantee you that will give you a moment of thanksgiving. It might not be right in that second when the first piece of eggplant goes in your mouth. And you just want to But later, when you're thinking about this and retelling this story a million times, have I told this story a million times now? 2 or 3 million times. Each time you tell it, it gives you a moment of thanksgiving. It does. It truly does. And that's Thanksgiving that lasts. That's Thanksgiving that literally lives.